New surveillance video shows the moments people were forced to run for their lives as 3 gunmen opened fire outside a banquet hall. 7's Jessica Holly is in Northwest Miami-Dade with new details on this. Jessica.
Melkis, it was early Sunday morning that an SUV pulled into the alleyway. 3 guys with guns got out and started shooting into the crowd. The cameras on this building catching the chaos from 3 different angles. Killers caught on camera, men shooting into a crowd. It's a new view of a banquet hall ambush posted to Only in Dade. Another angle catching people running from the rapid gunfire. In the end, 2 people were dead, 21 others injured. The shooting was early Sunday morning in Northwest Miami-Dade. Monday, police releasing this surveillance video of the shooters. Monday afternoon, they would find the Nissan Pathfinder seen in that video. It was pulled from a Northwest Miami-Dade canal. Investigators calling this shooting an act of retaliation. Miami-Dade's police director appearing on national news Tuesday morning.
This was targeted at someone that was at that location. You saw in the video how they showed up in there commando style. Within 20 seconds, they ruined families and lives.
The injured range in age from 17 to 32. Clayton Dillard and Desmond Owens, both 26, did not survive. Right now, police are on the hunt for the killers.
They're murderers and they're killers, and they don't care about anybody. They don't care about life. And this has to stop, not only in our community, but in this country.
In this case, there is now a reward of up to $130,000 for information that leads to the killers. We're live in Northwest Miami-Dade. Jessica Holly, 7 News.
I'm Bill Ritter. We do talk a lot about gun insanity here on Eyewitness News these days, and tragically, it was on full display across New York City yesterday. 9 shootings on Memorial Day. 9 shootings, a total of 15 victims.
7 of those shootings happened in a span of just 6 hours between 4:45 in the afternoon and 10:40 at night. And there was gun violence in all 5 boroughs. One person, a 15-year-old, was killed.
We'll say that again. A 15-year-old was killed. In one of those shootings, 5 people were hurt. This exclusive video, that shootout in the Bushwick section of Brooklyn. Eyewitness News reporter NJ Burkett obtaining this video, and he joins us live at the scene now. Newt?
Right, Bill, Mayor de Blasio told me today that he can feel it in his bones. The city of New York is turning around. But try telling that to the people of Bushwick, Brooklyn, or the people in Queens, Manhattan, the Bronx, or Staten Island. Yes, there were shootings last night in all of those places. 5 people shot here on this street corner alone.
I wasn't here, so I'm glad I wasn't here.
Neighbors know how lucky they were. It was just before 8 p.m. 2 groups of young men are standing outside the neighborhood bodega. Suddenly, one of them opens fire, and it's pandemonium. 5 will be hit with gunshots to the chest and back, in the arms and legs. Amazingly, no bystanders were wounded, but it was only one of several shootings last night. In just 6 hours, there were 7 shootings with 13 victims. One of them, a 15-year-old in Harlem, was killed. There were 7 shootings with 13 victims. One of them, a 15-year-old in Harlem, was killed. A rising tide of gun violence that touched every borough last night. And it all comes as police have struggled for weeks to control violent assaults in the New York City transit system. Today we asked Mayor de Blasio to explain what's happening and what he's doing about it.
What do you say to people who believe that the crime genie is out of the bottle and you don't know how to stuff it back in?
I understand the fear. I really do. And there's a persistent concern, which I've heard now for decades in this city, of are we going to go back to the bad old days? And I really try my best to help people understand there are so many reasons why that is not going to happen.
The mayor believes that a return to normal economic activity will stem the tide, as well as a fully functioning court system. But so far, the surge in shootings this year is up to 573, leaving a trail of 652 victims, an increase of 78% over 2020. But the mayor believes his policing strategy will ultimately prevail and insists he's focused on the future.
I'm convinced we are going to turn this city around and have a recovery for all of us. I can feel it in my bones.
Noted urban studies professor Mitchell Moss of NYU says the mayor is mistaken.
The mayor is absolutely got it reversed. Safety produces activity. activity is not going to produce safety. We have to make the place so safe people want to come and visit and enjoy it.
Well, Mayor de Blasio told me today he is convinced that the same policing strategies that drove crime down before the pandemic will work after the pandemic. He continues to insist it is only a matter of time.
All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and highest honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ruach HaKodesh. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, the one you call God, and Yahweh Shai being the name of the one you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, in Paleo-Ancient Hebrew. This is the brother Ariaga from the Grand Rapids, Michigan camp. Now, I'd like to bid you shalom as we preach, teach, and prophesy His word and put our lives on the line for those of the elect. Brother, coming straight from Grand Rapids, Michigan, here with another interesting lesson. You know, this Memorial Day weekend, in general, all the way up to Memorial Day, a lot of shootings. This is just a few. All throughout the U.S., it was a large amount of violence. People shot and killed. And you see that as a growing trend with these days of memorial in this country, in this kingdom in general. And it's become normal, especially after the pandemic, that there's a lot of judgment going forth. And the vast majority of the individuals are trying to take each other's heads off. You have a failing economic system. And you have individuals warring for what's left, for the crumbs and the scraps that are left. Tension is at an all-time high. People are each other's necks. And I will be doing a video on, just road rage. A lot of rage out here. Okay? And that's from the, let's do it. All right, this is known as Hegelian dialect, right? Ever since this whole pandemic popped off and you see how everybody's reacting, including these businesses, and everything is not by chance. All right, that's called Hegelian dialect, and it's how the problem, reaction, solution paradigm works. It says the government creates or exploits a problem that attributes blame to others. The populace reacts by asking the government for protection and help to solve the problem. The government offers the solution that was planned by them long before the crisis occurred. Outcome, rights and liberties are exchanged for the illusion of protection and help. All right, and that is the Hegelian dialect. You understand? And through that whole Hegelian dialect, that problem, reaction, solution, what you get is new policies, new laws passed, in which they sign away your rights. So basically, through Hegelian dialect, they set up a system that is also called pressure from above, pressure from below. I'll show you a quick clip of it real quick and show you how it links together.
But what is the best way to sell big government and then world government to a people like ours, historically devoted to an independent republic of limited powers? The answer is simple. In revolutionary literature, the tactic is known as pressure from above and below. It's the strategy that Colonel House laid down in his book, Philip Drew, Administrator. Deliberately create problems, and then offer only those solutions that result in the expansion of government. Create conditions so frightful at home and abroad that the abandonment of personal liberties and national sovereignty will appear as a reasonable price for a return to domestic tranquility and world peace.
And what did de Blasio said, he can feel it in his bones that everything is going to basically pan out like it used to be by returning everything to, the economy and everything to the way it used to be, which is it's not true. Why? Because now that it's come so far, it cannot return back the way it came. Let's see a little bit more.
Return to domestic tranquility and world peace. If those who seek world dominion can stimulate leftist mobs into violent confrontation with local law enforcement, and also provide exhaustive news coverage so that the entire nation can see and tremble, then the peaceful and freedom-loving majority can be programmed to accept a vast expansion of government powers and even a national police force, offered supposedly to end the violence. If those who seek world dominion can raise the specter of an enemy armed to the teeth with superior atomic weapons on the verge of launching a nuclear holocaust, and also offer world government as the prevention, then millions of Americans can be programmed to...
And that's what you see now. They're actively programming individuals, right? You see these mostly these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Natives killing themselves. Where they have access to these guns. It's been like that since the early 90s, mid-90s, where they, cats was waking up in Chicago and L.A., really in the late 80s, late to mid-80s, and cats were waking up or, get random tips on train cars filled with guns and in the train yard next to the hoods, high-powered rifles, and dude went in, a guy giving a testimonial, ex-gangster, he was talking about Chicago, how they went to, he was looking for a clip for a gun he had. I think it was a MAC-10 at the time or something. Back then, that wasn't common. And he took it to the gun store, I went to the gun store asking for certain things for it, like a clip for it and all this. And, they're basically like, how the hell do you have this? We don't even have a license to sell these kind of guns. The point I'm making is that they were placed there, and by being placed there, all of these things didn't happen by chance or because, they're killing each other. Where are they getting these guns from? Oh, they're buying them off the street. No. You can't go to the suburbs and buy these type of weapons. Some of these weapons. You gotta go to gun shows, and these niggas got felonies, and they young dudes, and they got these guns. Alright, because they're being trafficked there. You always have. To fuel this. That's why they call it the projects. In the hood. Because it's always been one active project. And they're analyzing the data that they receive from it. And they're feeding the beast. Right? And that's part of that pressure from above, pressure from below. And the solution is going to be the government. Alright? But these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Natives are bombing on each other like crazy, And now that you see these things unwinding, what you do is the government has to respond to the outcry of the people. Let's see what's going on real quick. This is Isaiah 51:20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull on a net. They are full of the fury of the Most High and rebuke of thy God. The Heavenly Father, so Yahweh is putting that fury upon them, and he's making it carry out each other, carry it out on each other. And they like wild bulls. You see all of them on just angry with attitude, chip on their shoulder, and it's mainly because the way society they become a product of their environment or their project, you know, and they walk around with that chip on their shoulder, and for one that's come from that, I tell you, it has a lot to do with not having your father there, which has created a whole culture around it. So even those that do have their father, they want to be just like the motherfuckers that don't have them. It's become cool to be that way. Once again, this is all by design. Alright? Yeah, it's wild right now. And there's a lot of judgment going through. Okay? Let's go down real quick. Ecclesiasticus 10 and 29. Who would justify him that sinneth against his own soul, and who will honor him that dishonoreth his own life? And that's a life without honor. Standing on the corner, you know what I'm saying, where you selling drugs or just hanging out with your niggas with a pistol waiting for some shit to pop off. And then you end up killing your rival and justify it. But you was out there, you was mixed up in that life in the first place. You was just waiting on something to happen. Because you take pride in that. You dishonor your own life, man. And you end up locked up in a box for the rest of your life, going through hell in a cell. And I ain't talking about no WWF shit. Ecclesiasticus 21 and 4. To terrify and do wrong will waste riches. And you know what? I had that set aside for something else. But still, this stuff is going down because you have a lot of hard-headed individuals that don't want to turn to the Heavenly Father. And I mean, more so of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We constantly transgress the laws of the Heavenly Father that He has given us because we are made in His image. And that image is of heaven, how the order works in heaven, And you don't want to turn back to Him. So the things that you continually do, and this, you justify it by, the elements that you came up in, your surroundings. But the Heavenly Father put, men out there to preach and teach this word and show you the way. And you shun them or you try to kill them, whatever it may be. Proverbs 11 and 3. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. Alright? And the transgression is going against the laws of the Heavenly Father. And our people are constantly transgressing the laws of the Heavenly Father. Oh, the laws is done away with. No. The Lord said He came to fulfill them. And they think, oh, well, He fulfilled them, so now we don't have. No. We still got grace because He's given us time to get it together before the Lord returns. Before all hell breaks loose, really. And you see the beginning, birth portions of it, Proverbs 11 and 5, the righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. Alright? And that's what you see. They falling by their own wickedness, their own folly. Sitting out here waiting for some shit to pop off just in case. No, you waiting for that. Because you know it's going to happen. You can feel it in the air. You know what time it is. Yet, for your own personal reasons, money, power, hoes, some niggas just love that shit. Some niggas just get off being wicked as hell, bro. You tribes is just quick to do that, especially amongst each other, man. Because that's what you've been taught. That's what's been installed in you. Proverbs 11 and 6. The righteousness of the upright shall deliver him, but the transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. And these are some naughty niggas, man. Alright? wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of unjust men perishes. All right. It says the the righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead. You know. And what did my man say? Hey, he lived right there on the block. He was just like, I wasn't here, man. You know, hey, the Lord gave him a way out of that. You know what I'm saying? He would probably usually be out there or going to that store or what have you. You know, and the Lord blessed him not to be there. You know, just an example. Those individuals that got pulled up on in Florida, some of them made it out of there, you know, and didn't get hit by none of them slugs. You know what I'm saying? That was a blessing from the Lord, man. Boy, they survived, you know. Proverbs 11 and 17. The merciful man doeth good to his own soul, but he that is cruel troubleth his own flesh. And they think that shit ain't gonna catch up with them when it is. They think they got away with it, you know. They thinking, oh shit, nigga, man, we got them niggas, man. We got rid of the car, ain't got no evidence, no prints, nigga. We did, hey man, our faces was covered up, we did everything right. And the Heavenly Father seen everything you did, he gonna catch up with those wicked niggas. Isaiah 51 and 20, thy sons, let's jump to Jeremiah, because I read that in Isaiah 51 and 20. They like bulls, man. A wild bull in the net, man. That motherfucker start going crazy, man. Yeah, Jeremiah 5 and 26. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait and they setteth snares. They set a trap, they catch men. And I was looking at the other one where dude left and let his ops where he had his gun stashed at. They followed him. And all these niggas hopped out, was ready to bust him up. He went to the bushes, got his strap, and started busting at him. The nigga pulled out, smashed up his car, and took off. All them niggas took off. You know, he set up a trap for these niggas, man. Man, these niggas fell right into it, you know, with all of that drama and that nigga shit, you know. He caught them, man. Jeremiah 5 and 27. As a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. Therefore, they are become great and waxen rich. And that's what you see from those elites, man. Okay? You see a lot of that going on, you know, as you see the money trail leads to these elites getting richer and richer, causing more chaos, you know. Part of that problem, reaction, solution, or that Hegelian dialect. Jeremiah 9 and 2 says, oh, that I had in the wilderness a lodging place of wayfaring men, that I might leave my people and go from them, for they be all adulterers, an assembly of treacherous men. And all these little niggas love to do is sit around and have sex with each other's women, bro, and then kill each other over it. Because that's one of the most disrespectful things you can do to them, man. You know? Jeremiah 9 and 3, and they bend their tongues like their bow for lies, but they are not valiant for the truth upon the earth, for they process from evil to evil, and they know not me, saith Yahweh. And they process that evil because all they do is lie, cheat, steal, you know. And the Heavenly Father, you know, uses each one of them to put each other to death, man. And it's a constant cycle until the Lord returns. And it's only getting worse. It's up 75% from last year already, bro. Come on, man. Talk about, I feel it in my bones it's going to get better. Yeah, because what they're going to do is start that universal police force, and they're going to come in and they're going to really start wrecking shop. And start getting rid of those guns and killing cats. You think what they say, what you see the police doing now is something. Wait just a minute, man. You know. Jeremiah 9 and 4. Take ye heed everyone of his neighbor, and trust ye not in any brother. For every brother will utterly supplant, and every neighbor will walk with slanders. You got to be careful who you trusting in these times, man. All right, you even got a Judas amongst each brother's camps. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to really keep your eye open and be circumspect, man, and discern spirits, especially outside of this truth. You can even be your fleshly brother, because it said thine enemy should be them with thine own household. Brother, son, delivering up each other, son, father, and mother, and daughter. These are the times we in. Okay? It's all prophecy. Jeremiah 9:5. And they will deceive everyone his neighbor, and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies, and weary themselves to commit iniquity. All right, and that's what they do. They taught their tongues to speak lies, and all they do with those lies is stir up bullshit and iniquity, and eventually, like the dude said, it was retaliation. It leads to some kind of retaliation for words spoken, or somebody may have beat a nigga up for talking crazy and speaking iniquity and lies, and that nigga come back and retaliate on them. You know what I'm saying? And they continuously commit iniquity, man. Jeremiah 9:6, thine habitation is in the midst of deceit. Through deceit, they refuse to know me, saith Yahweh. And these niggas love to be malicious and wicked in this, especially this generation that's coming up now, man. Jonathan 9:7, Jeremiah 9:7. Therefore thus saith Yahweh of hosts, behold, I will melt them and try them. For how shall I do for the daughter of my people? Their tongue is as an arrow shot out. It speaketh deceit. One speaketh peaceably to his neighbor with his mouth, but in his heart he layeth his weight. And it said he shall melt them, because what do you do with gold and silver? You melt it down to get the other metals out of it, separate it, so you can purify the gold, take out all the dross and the waste and the other elements. And he's trying, and these cats are sitting up here setting each other up deceitfully. And cat just got killed down here on Saturday. 13-year-old, I think it was. Got led to the park by his ops or by somebody, and they murked him. You know what I'm saying? Shall I not visit them for these things, saith Yahweh? Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? When you start seeing that judgment, the heavy judgment come through, and the police forces and the army come through, you'll understand why so many people gotta die, because there's always something behind them. A lot of these niggas gotta pay for that type of shit. Women for their adulteries and their wickedness and their transgressions is what it all comes down to. The law is still active, and we still held accountable for these things. To the best of our ability, we're supposed to rehearse the righteous acts. It's Micah 7:2. The good man is perished out of the earth, and there is none among men. They all lie in wait for blood. They hunt every man his brother with a net. All of that is self-explanatory. That's sad, bro. And that's specifically going towards you Native American, Latino, and Negroes, man. Because this is what you're primarily doing. And this is just a video to display that. Alright? But at the same time, when you have Memorial Day and the memorial of the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre on the same day, that stuff happened on Memorial Day. Right? You understand that this goes all the way back to the foundation of this kingdom, of this country. It's in its history, so it only makes sense that history continues to repeat itself. said, this place is undone by the Lord. And with that, I pray you will edify it until the next time. Shalom.